Every dollar of profit you've ever earned came from someone else's fear. When others panic, you stay patient, and the market pays you for your courage. That payment has a name: risk premium. It's the invisible paycheck for taking on controlled uncertainty. You see, you don't get rich for knowing the future, you get rich for surviving the unknown. So, what exactly is the risk premium? It's the reward investors receive for taking on risks that others avoid. Let's break it down. A government bond might pay a safe 3%. A corporate bond, a little riskier, might pay 6%. A startup stock could return 15% or it could collapse entirely. The difference between the safe and the uncertain? That's the premium of fear. It's the price the world pays to those who dare to believe in the future. The risk premium exists because we, as humans, absolutely hate uncertainty. Our brains evolved for survival, not for speculating on the stock market. When we see danger, whether it's real or just imagined, we tend to overreact. This is why when markets fall, panic spreads much faster than the actual truth. Fear sells cheaper than facts. And that's precisely where opportunity lives. The investors who truly master their emotions don't ignore risk, they price it. They understand that fear has a market, and courage earns interest. Imagine a farmer whose field just burned down. Everyone runs away, shouting, "That land is worthless." But one man looks closer. He sees that the soil is still rich, and the fire actually cleared away all the weeds. He buys the land for next to nothing. A year later, that same land produces a more abundant harvest than ever before. He didn't just buy land, he bought fear at a massive discount. And that's exactly what smart investors do every single day. Here's a fundamental truth: there is no return without risk. The bigger the uncertainty, the bigger the potential reward, but also the bigger the pain if you're wrong. Safe assets are great for protecting the wealth you already have. But risk assets are what build new wealth. The real art is knowing how much fear you can personally afford to take on. If you take too little risk, your money just sleeps. But if you take too much, you'll never sleep. You can see the risk premium in action all around you in real life. When you decide to start a business, you're demanding a risk premium, a reward for betting on yourself when no one else will. When you invest in emerging markets, perhaps like my home country Cambodia, you're earning a premium for dealing with volatility that others avoid. When you hold your stocks through a downturn instead of panic selling, you're earning the fear dividend. The world is full of lessons, but none of them are free of fear. Interestingly, most people lose money not because they make bad investments, but because they have bad reactions. They sell low, buy high, panic way too fast, and celebrate way too slow. Fear has a way of shortening your time horizon and magnifying every little mistake. That's why the legendary Warren Buffett said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." He wasn't promoting greed. He was teaching us how to price fear correctly. So, how can you master this concept of risk premium? First, understand the difference between risk and uncertainty. Risk is something you can measure, like the odds in a card game. Uncertainty is something you can only prepare for. Next, diversify your courage. Don't put all your emotional eggs in one basket. Spread your fear across many different assets, not just one big bet. Expect volatility and learn to welcome it. The premium you earn is the emotional tax you pay for your future gains. And finally, never confuse danger with discomfort. Danger destroys you. Discomfort grows you. The market always pays those who can stay calm under pressure. Fear isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. It shows you where the crowd stops and where true courage begins. Think about it. The greatest wealth in history wasn't built during times of peace and prosperity, but during moments of panic. In every market crash, every crisis, every correction, the brave are quietly planting seeds that the fearful will later buy back at double the price. Fear is expensive. Courage is profitable. Every great fortune in history was built on faith during a time of fear. The market doesn't pay for safety. It pays for bravery combined with discipline. The price of fear is profit for the patient. Because in every storm, there's a premium waiting for the one who refuses to run. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found value in this, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more. Until next time.